Hey class, today we're going to learn how to divide integers. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to divide integers with the same sign, as you can see from the box on the left, and divide integers with different signs, which you can see from the box on the right. Let's get started. So our dividing integer rules are actually the same as our multiplying integer rules. So when we divide integers with the same sign, our answer is going to be positive. I'm going to say that again. When we divide integers with the same sign, our answer is positive. So when we have a positive divided by a positive, they're both the same, so our answer will be positive. And we can look at that with a number example by seeing positive 8 divided by positive 4 is positive 2. That also means that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Because both are negative, they're the same sign, our answer is positive. And we can see that with numbers by seeing negative 8 divided by negative 4 is positive 2. Let's look at some more examples. Number 1 is a positive number divided by a positive number, so our answer will be positive. And 24 divided by 3 is 8, so our final answer is positive 8, or you can just write it as 8 because we can leave off the positive sign. Number 2 says negative 64 divided by negative 8. Remember that a fraction bar represents division. So again, that says negative 64 divided by negative 8. Well, here we have a negative divided by a negative. Those signs are the same, so our answer will be positive. And 64 divided by 8 is 8. So your answer is positive 8, or you can just write 8 because we can drop the positive sign. Let's look at some harder examples. So number 3, we have negative 36 divided by negative 3, and then divided by 4. And you'll notice we have parentheses on top. That's because we need to simplify everything on top before we divide it by 4. So we're going to start by doing negative 36 divided by negative 3. Well, it's a negative divided by a negative, so they're the same, so our answer will be positive, and 36 divided by 3 is 12. So the top simplifies to positive 12, and then we have to divide that by 4. Now we have 12 divided by 4, which is a positive divided by a positive, so our answer is positive, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. Let's look at number 4. In number 4, we have to evaluate using what they give us for R and S. In this case, they tell us R is negative 8 and S is negative 6. So I'm going to plug in those values every time I see R and S in my expression. So I'm going to rewrite it, and instead of R, I'm going to write my negative 8, because that's what they tell me R is, and then plus S, and S they tell me is negative 6. So instead of writing S, I'm going to put negative 6. And then I have to copy down the rest, which says divided by negative 7. All right, now I need to follow my order of operations. So that's my PEMDAS. So I need to do parentheses first. So that means I'm going to do negative 8 plus negative 6. Okay, so I have a negative and a negative, so I'm finding a total loss. So my answer will be negative, and 8 plus 6 is 14. So negative 8 plus negative 6 is negative 14, and then I'm going to divide that by negative 7. Well, now we have a negative divided by a negative. The signs are the same, so my answer will be positive, and 14 divided by 7 is positive 2. All right, now I want you to pause the video and try number 1 and 2 on your own, and then you'll check your answers with mine. Okay, so both number 1 and 2, we're doing a negative divided by a negative, so both answers should be positive. Now I want you to try number 3 and number 4 on your own. So pause the video, give it a try, and then you're going to check your answers with mine. Okay, take a moment to check your work and your answers with mine, and if you need to, pause the video and then hit play when you're ready. Now we're going to move on and look at what happens when we divide integers with different signs. Again, these rules are the same as when we multiply integers with different signs. So if the signs are different, then our answer is going to be negative. So this means that a positive divided by a negative is a negative, and that a negative divided by a positive is a negative. As long as our signs are different, our answer will be negative. And we can see that with number examples over on the right. Positive 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 8 divided by positive 4 is negative 2. So when the signs are different, our answer is negative, just like when we multiply. Let's look at some examples. Number 1 says 33 divided by negative 11. Well, here we have a positive divided by a negative. The signs are different, so our answer is going to be negative. And 33 divided by 11 is 3. So our final answer is negative 3. Number 2 says negative 35 divided by 7. So we have a negative divided by a positive. Our signs are different, so our answer will be negative. And 35 divided by 7 is 5. So your final answer is negative 5. Let's look at a few more examples. Number 3, we're going to evaluate if x is negative 3 and y is negative 4. So I'm going to plug in those values every time I see x and y in my expression. So we have x times y divided by negative 6. Well, x, they told me, was negative 3, and y, they said, was negative 4. And then I'm dividing by negative 6. Order of operations says multiplication and division is done left to right. So in this case, I'm going to multiply before I divide. Negative 3 times negative 4, the signs are the same, so my answer is positive, and 3 times 4 is 12. Then I'm going to have to bring that down, that divide by negative 6. Now I have positive 12 divided by negative 6. The signs are different, so my answer will be negative, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So your final answer is negative 2. Number 4 says, Clark made 4 of his truck payments late and was fined 4 late fees. So he was fined for a fee, so that means he's owing money. So that's going to be a negative. The total change to his savings from late fees was negative $40. How much was one late fee? Okay, so in total, it was negative $40, and he had 4 of those late fees. So I'm going to do negative 40 divided by 4 to see how much 1 was. Well, we have a negative divided by a positive, so our answer will be negative, and 40 divided by 4 is 10. So each late fee, or one late fee, was negative $10. So I can rewrite that with my labels, negative $10. Or you can write it as an answer statement. One late fee was $10. All right, now I want you to pause the video and try number 1 and 2, and then you'll check your answers with mine. Okay, take a moment, check your answers with my answers, pause the video if needed. All right, now I want you to try number 3 and 4 on the screen. Pause your video, give it a try, and then you'll check your answers with mine. All right, take a moment, check your answers with my answers. If you need to, pause the video. And that's all for today. So hopefully you now know how to divide integers. Have a good one.